Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So watch how I made this beautiful gown with structured sleeve. So on your pattern, come down by 6 inches or 5 inches or wherever you want the cloth to the upper bodice to start. After that, you mark it, then divide your shoulder by 2 and then connect it to your bust point. So take 0.75 from the line and then connect it back to your bust point as shown. So from the armhole, come out by 0.75 inches and then connect the armhole back. This is for tightening. After that, you go to your under bust and then tighten your under bust by 0.5 inches on the center back, on the center, and then 1 inch to 1.5 inch on the side, the way I'm doing it, and then connect it back to your dart leg. So measure your armhole and then place it back on the back and mark it. So this is where your back will begin, and then connect a straight line or a V-neck, anyhow you want to do it. So you connect the dart leg to the line, and then for the eyelet side you give 2 inches space from the center back, and then you connect it back. This is where your eyelet will start from. You know the space we give at the back. Okay, after that you now do your modesty panel. Connect a straight line from the dart legs out, connect it out like 7 inches. So you mark a straight line down to that place, and then you are going to trace it out on a paper. Put a paper under, and then trace out this is the modesty panel. It will start from where the this thing is located. It will start from where the dart is located. Okay, that indicates on it like where the dart starts from, and then the upper side and the lower side. So cut out the pattern paper so that you place it on your fabric and cut out. So I'm closing my bust dart. Don't forget to close your bust dart. Closing my bust dart. So after closing your bust dart, cut it out and place it on your fabric, any fabric that you want to use. So for this back, I want it to be dartless kind of. I want to cut out the dart and then fold it. See the way I'm doing it right now. I want to fold it. I want to place it back on the eyelet side without that. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to use my cello tape to pin it back. I didn't want the dart line to show. That's why I'm doing it like this. Divide your hip by 2 and then mark it on your pattern paper. After that, you divide the pattern paper into 2 to get your center front and center back. So from your center front, you get your waist measurement divided by 4 and then mark it. Then get your waist to hip and then your waist to your knee. Your waist to hip and then waist to your knee, and then mark a straight line. After that, so from your waist, mark a curved line to your hip. Okay, and then divide your hip by 4 and then minus 2 inches. That is for your knee line. On your knee line, that's where you will mark it. So mark a straight line to the end of the paper and connect. Now on the center back, you come in by 1 inch for your zip, and then your waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that. So connect a straight line from the zipper side to the hip line, and then from the waist to the hip line too, the way I'm doing it. After that, divide whatever you have on the knee line and then divide it by 2 and place it on the length of the on the length, the way I'm doing it. So from the center front, you go down by 1.5 inch to eliminate bulge, and then you mark it. Then you put your dart line on the back. From the center back, you put your dart line anyhow you want it to be, you put it. But I'm using 4, and then I'm using 7. The length is 7, and then I'm taking ½ inch on both sides, and then I will now connect it. So from the center back, I'm cutting it. I'm going in like from the center back, from the hip line. This is the back, from the hip line, from the center back. So I'm trying to put open 1.5 inch for, I want to do butt lifts. So I'm putting 1.5 inches on the center back, on the hip line. Okay, I'm opening it by 1.5 inches. This thing will give me a butt lift. So this structure sleeve, your shoulder width, the width of your shoulder, okay, plus 4 inches, the width of your shoulder plus 4 inches. Then the length can be any length you want, okay. Then you mark a straight line to meet it. So I'm adding like 1 inch sewing allowance to the sleeve. So I'm cutting it out so that I'll place it on a pattern paper and on the fabric. After cutting it, you place your fabric on fold, and then you cut out 2 of these, okay, 2 for each hand. That is 4 pieces of this. So this is me placing it on my fabric here. As you can see how I'm placing it, I'm not adding any other sewing allowance because I've already added it on the paper. Okay, so I'm cutting out 4, 2 on each hand. So this is the modesty panel, is 2, okay, it's 2. And then I've already placed my pattern paper on fabric. This is the back, is 4 too. I'm using it for lining, 1 for lining, 1 for the main fabric. This is the side front, okay, this is center front, and then the skirt part. This is the skirt part, and that's it. Now this skirt, I'm not using lining, so I just want to do small turn up for it. Okay, I'm closing the dart now, and then I'll add, like, place it on a piece of fabric, and then cut out like 3 to 4 inches. Okay, this is like 3 inches. I'll use it to close the seam part. You will see how I will do it, so just follow the video. So this is what it looks like after cutting it. Okay, I'm using it for turn up. I want to use it to close the seam, the joining on the waist. Okay, you see how I'll do it. Now for the back, I'm cutting out 1.5 inches strip, and then my boning is like ½ inch. All right, see the way I'm placing it. I'm placing it on a 0.5 inches. Okay, and then I'm sewing it down. All right, so I'm sewing it down, and then you see the way I will turn it. Okay, after sewing it down on 0.5 inch, you give about ½ inch seam allowance on top and on the bottom, and then you turn it like this so that you cover the boning. Okay, you turn it like this so that you cover the boning. I'm going to place it on the back. See the way I'm turning it, and this is the way you will turn yours. So after turning it, keep yours like this and sew it on one side first. You sew it on one side and keep turning. You can iron it with hairstay. Okay, you can iron it with hairstay. I didn't iron my own. You can iron it so that the turning will not disturb you. Okay, so after sewing it on one side, you sew it on the other side to keep it down. All right, sew it on the other side to keep it down. So this is what it looks like after it. Then I'm going to do the second one. All right, see the second one. All right, I've not added my lining, so I'm going to cover it with my lining like so. You see that I left ½ inch for sewing allowance on the center back. Okay, so after sewing it inside, I will turn it. All right, I will turn it. So you turn it from the inside, and you will have something like this. And then you stitch it down. You stitch this part down. So this is what we have. We are going to put our modesty panel on it. Okay, you can put your eyelets on these lines. So for a modesty panel, you are going to sew it round and then give a small opening where you will turn it. Okay, after doing that, I've already turned it, and then I'll now stitch that side where I turned it from inside. All right, and then I'll now place it inside my clothes. So this is how I'm placing it on my clothes. I'm just placing it like this. Okay, maybe 2 inches inside, and then I'll now sew it down because I want to remove it later. That's why I'm doing it like this. So after sewing it down like this, this is what I have. So for the skirt part, I ironed hairstay about 2 to 3 inches, and then I'm sewing it down. I'm sewing down the skirts, and then I'm leaving opening for ventilation. Okay, about 6 inches opening, and then I will now turn it like this to give a neat seam finishing. So this is what it looks like after doing that. Now for the zip, we are going to attach our zip like this. Okay, look at the way I'm attaching this zip. I'm giving like 1/2 inch sewing allowance, and then I'll now sew it down. After sewing it down, this is what I have. Alright, then I'm going to attach my upper bodice for the back, and I'm going to go inside like from 1.5 inches. Okay, you know the gap we gave at the back, that's what we are going to put in front. The gap we gave at the back for eyelet, like the opening at the back, that's what we are going to put in front, and then now attach the upper bodice like this. From that place we will attach it like this. Don't know if you are seeing what I'm doing, and then we'll now sew it. Remember that 3 to 4 inches strip that we cut, you place it like so. All right, place it the way I'm placing it, and then you are going to sew it. This is to hide our rough edges. All right, you know it's a corset, so that the rough edges will not come out. See the way I'm placing it. You place it like this, center back to center back, side back to side back. So after doing that, you sew it like the way I'm sewing it right now. You sew it on 1/2 inches. Okay, and the way I'm sewing it right now. So this is what it looks like after sewing it. This is what it looks like. So I'm cutting just small. So we are going to turn it inside the way I'm turning it now. I'm turning it inside. So see how what I was talking about. See how it looks like. All right, let me zip it so that you see now. See how it looks like the turn up. So you have to weave that place, or you use hemming gum to gum that place so that it will not be open. Because see the zip part, this is what I was after, so that the zip part will be like this, since I don't want to put lining. So for the padding for the front, I'm placing it on my foam bra, and then I will cut from the under bust. Okay, it will not reach the whole length, just from the upper bust, from the under bust to the upper side, and then I will now come down by 1/2 inches for sewing allowance. Okay, all right. So this is what it looks like after cutting out the bra. So we are going to sew it with 1/2 inches side front to center front. So side front to center front, we are placing it, and then we sew it on 1/2 inches. Look at the way I'm placing it. This is my center front, and then I'll also place my side front and then sew it. So after sewing it, I've already open pressed both the main fabric and the lining, as you can see how it's looking. All right, and I also did the same for the lining. So I'm going to place the lining like so, and then I'll sew the upper side and the armhole and turn it over. So this is the front skirt. I'm going to put my drapings on it. Okay, see how I'm trying to drape on the floor. I don't have dress form yet, so I'm draping on the floor. So watch how I'm doing it. So I'm going to use my pin a lot on this draping, okay? So just be folding it. I'll be folding it till I get to my desired length. So after draping it, this is what it looks like. You can also iron it with hemming gum. All right. Okay, so I'm going to place the notch part of my upper bodice and the notch part of that skirt. I'm going to sew it down. So this is what it looks like after sewing it. After sewing the front bodice. So we are going to place both the front and the back together and sew it on 1.5 inches. All right, we're going to sew it on 1.5 inches. Remember, that's what we added, the added allowance we added. So this is what it looks like. I'm placing it on the floor to stitch it with measurement, okay, to hold it down before closing it with measurements. All right, now for the front, for the hand, this is the hand. I've already ironed paper stay on it. All right, remember that it's 2 for each hand, so I'm placing the other one that looks like lining on it. All right, and then I'm going to sew it round. So after turning it from the inside, this is what it looks like. All right, so I'm going to push this plate that I used to turn it from the inside, so that I will sew it. You understand what I'm trying to say? So after doing that, I'm going to use needle and thread to gather it on the tip. As you can see what I'm doing, see the way I'm doing it. All right, so this is what you will do to yours, because that's how I think the sleeve was achieved. I don't know if there's any other way, but this is how I did my own. So I'm just gathering it on one side. So this is what it looks like after gathering it. We are going to place it on our fabric. So this is how you are going to hang it on the fabric. All right, this is how you are going to hang it on the fabric. And we are going to you see this part, see the way I gathered it, and then you place it on the shoulder as like so, and then this other part you are going to use needle and thread to hold it on the fabric. All right, you can see where my hand is. That's where you hold with needle and thread. You do the same for the back. We are going to measure the other side and do the same for the other side. Okay. So this is how I made this fabric, and this is how I made this outfit, and this is how I stitched the hand on the fabric. All right, subscribe to my channel and comment and share for more exciting videos. Thank you for watching. God bless you.